Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're looking at the McFarlane Toys Harry Potter Hermione Granger action figure. Now this is the last of this series to be released. They released the first three many months ago, and I finally stumbled across this figure at Target. It actually rang up for $14, which was a pleasant surprise. I expected it to be the full $20. I've had this thing pre-ordered from Amazon and BBTS with no success. Now I can cancel my pre-orders. I got the figure and I got it for a discount. So let's take a look at the packaging here. As you can see, Harry Potter, ages 12 plus, Hermione Granger, Wizarding World. As you can see, it looks like she comes with some kind of a stand, her Petronas otter, she's got her wand, and then here she is as an older teenager, young adult. I personally got this figure because I wanted to use her as a civilian in my action figure world. I'm a sucker for regular looking people, and having a teenager or a young adult can be useful for so many different things. This could be a fill-in for Barbara Gordon, depending on the time period. Could just be a kidnap victim or somebody going to school. All kind of cool things to do with this. The top, not too much going on. You can see McFarlane Toys, the Spawn logo. Side here, just some Hogsworth type stuff. Other side, same stuff. Bottom here, there's a barcode in case anyone needs it, as well as some credits. And then the back, you can see the rest of the wave. Harry Potter, Ron, Hermione finally out. I actually personally passed on Voldemort. I got these guys as civilians in my action figure world to enhance just my generic action figure collection, and he really didn't have any place as far as that goes. So with no further ado, let's open her up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. She comes with a couple different display stands, her wand, and then her otter Petronas. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. So I must say, here's Hermione, here's her face. It's looking okay. Hair looks pretty good. The neck looks just so bad. It sort of comes out in the middle. And the fact that her undershirt here is almost flesh colored just makes it look like it doesn't match skin tones, which actually it does. For the most part, a little bit different than her face, but she's got, I don't know, slightly rosy cheeks, but the neck just looks so bad. I don't know if you can fully see in there. It's just like fat in the center, kind of sticks outward, then it gets smaller before it gets to her head. Oh, it just looks atrocious. Not sure how that got by. All the different sculptors and stuff said, yep, that looks good, send it down the assembly line. Beyond that, her clothing looks pretty good. I like her pink hoodie, her jean jacket. The detailing is actually pretty decent. I thought the clothing on these Harry Potter figures has been pretty nice for the most part. You can see the pockets. Overall, I think her body looks good. Her face looks okay. Eyes a little wonky. Neck is awful and almost ruins the figure. I actually saw that when I was selecting this figure at Target and said, you know what, I still want it. I'm a sucker for civilian looking figures and regular people. So I knew I was going to get it either way. And when it rang up, $6 cheaper than I expected. Home run. Next, let's check out her accessories. So first of all, there's a display stand for her. It's got one peg on it to fit the peg hole in her foot. Harry Potter, pretty much hollow. Pretty much a junk stand. I'm not much of a stand guy, so it's going to go into a huge bin of stands, never to be seen again. So next, let's check out her Petronas. It's an otter here, made out of this transparent plastic, looking pretty good, kind of mystical. Not going to be too practical in my action figure collection since I'm going to be using her as probably just a regular person, but still a cool thing to have for your Harry Potter collection. It also comes with a display stand. We've got the base here. It's just a circle with a peg hole in it. Insert this piece into the stand. At the bottom of the otter, he's got a peg hole in his belly. Insert like so. And then you've got him on his display stand. I'm not going to lie, I'm really not sure what these little clips are for, but I'm not much of a stand guy, so I'm not going to use any of these stands for display. So I don't really consider display stands to be accessories. As far as I'm concerned, this figure comes with her Petronas, as well as her magical wand, which is a necessary accessory for your Harry Potter figures, This one here appears to be made of wood. It's like it's a stick. It's got a little bit of sculpting detail inside of it. It's got the fatter part at the base here where she'll hold it, and the thinner part where she'll be pointing towards something. And then here she is holding her wand. I actually think she looks pretty good the way they have her designed to hold it. As you can see, mine's a little bit warped. I'll probably try to straighten that thing out. It does have some nice sculpting detail, just some subtle lines on it. Makes it a lot better. They could have easily just made one solid piece and said, here's the wand, and they didn't. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at her accessories, and as far as I'm concerned, she really doesn't come with a lot. Next, let's check out the height of this figure. These McFarlane Harry Potter figures are of the 7-inch scale, and since they're about 17 years old or so, they could be a little bit shorter than that. This figure here, from bottom to top, is sitting at just about 6.5 inches, which translates to about 16.5 centimeters. Next, let's check out this figure's articulation. So her head here, and I'm going to go ahead and comment about the neck. I notice the head is pretty easy to take off. You can just sort of see the neck. I mean, I don't know why they made it the way it is, but when you put the head on there, it just looks like it starts here, then it goes here, then it goes back up to here. It just doesn't look good. The head is a little bit different skin tone than the neck, and I know that's her shirt, but it makes it seem like it's a different skin tone altogether. You sort of pop that bad boy back on there. It just doesn't look good. I'm sure you guys can see what I'm talking about under there. One of the worst action figure necks I've ever seen. Anyway, her head can go from side to side, and it can look down and up. Pretty decent amount, actually. Shoulders on a ball joint, then go at a full 90 degrees. You go up, down, around, all that fun stuff. She does have a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows on a female figure, not too common. Then her hands really can just rotate around. They're not hinged or anything. And frankly, the color doesn't really match the wrist. Just more to complain about. I mean, look at that. Looks bad. She's got a little bit of a ball joint under here. It can give a tiny bit of rotation from side to side, and it does allow her to go in and out just a little bit. Similar type joint down here and go side to side a little bit, and it can go in and out just a hair as well. Her legs got about that far. See, it's kind of like their Fortnite articulation inside of here. They really can't go forward very much. It almost feels like this top part should be able to tuck inside, but it's not doing it. This one here really got the same problem going on. Double jointed knees though, and go about that far in. Her foot is on a ball joint. It can rotate from side to side. It can go up and down. And it looks like if you were to turn the ball joint and then turn the foot back, you could kind of rock it to the side. One of those really annoying ankles. I hate when action figures do it like that. So I will say about her articulation, not super fond of the feet. It looks like the hips are not done properly and they don't allow you to move them forward or back at all. And it seems like just a tiny bit of plastic shaved off might correct that. I mean, she's got double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. With a figure that's sort of teasing you with all this articulation, she definitely falls short for the most part. I mean, these two ball joints in here are almost useless. They give you very little range of motion. Really don't like her neck, the way it's designed. Really don't like that her head pops off so easy. I don't like that her hands can only rotate around. They're not hinged at all. As much as you see a promise for some good articulation, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, really as a whole, this thing falls short. Next, let's check her out compared to some other action figures. Here she is with Harry Potter and Ron Weasley from the same line from McFarlane Toys for Harry Potter. These here are when they're young adults or late teenagers. I must say, for all of them, I think the clothing looks fantastic on them. I really like regular people clothing. In particular, I really like the way Ron Weasley's clothing looks. And here she is next to an older NECA Harry Potter figure. This is from one of the earlier films. This guy's considerably less articulated than the McFarlane figures, believe it or not. Now, I don't have a whole lot of Harry Potter figures to compare it to. I have nothing against Harry Potter. I like it just fine, but I'm not a Harry Potter action figure collector. I just got these 4 figures over the years. because I thought they work good for regular younger people or civilians. So this would be my entire Harry Potter action figure collection. I would definitely try to get some more of these if they made more in sort of regular attire, like so. And then here she is next to all the different children or teenagers in my action figure collection. At least those that are not in superhero outfits, thinking Damian Wayne Robin. We've got figures from Halloween, Pan's Labyrinth, Walking Dead, Hunger Games, DC Comics, Heroes, Stranger Things, A Christmas Story, Gotham, Harry Potter, Terminator, Ghostbusters, and Spawn. So I said it before in the video, but I thought this figure might make for a good Barbara Gordon in civilian attire. That is Batgirl's true identity, at least one of the Batgirls. Of course, you'd have to use a teenage version of Batgirl. There are also many adult versions. Kind of thinking from the video game Arkham Origins or the Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle animated film. Just a thought. Next, let's check her out compared with some other action figure lines to see how she fits in both scale and style-wise. Here she is next to some of her McFarlane brothers and sisters. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines from McFarlane Toys. And here she is next to some DST or Diamond Select Toys action figures. Then here she is next to some NECA figures. And here she is next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And then next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And then here she is next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then here she is next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics figures. And here she is next to some Mafex action figures. Then here she is next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here she is next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. So overall, I'm going to say this figure is kind of a disappointment. Don't get me wrong, I actually really like the body and clothing sculpt of this figure for the most part. Really not fond of the neck so much it almost ruins the entire figure. The head's a little bit rough as well. The face, rather, the hair is pretty nice. The articulation is also a big disappointment. Almost a bigger disappointment because they implement double joints and this, that, and the other, but it's all just done so horribly that you get very little out of it. Now, if I were to rate this figure, I'd probably give her a 6 out of 10. Maybe that's being a little bit too generous. She does work good for my uses as being used for a civilian, or possibly a substitute for Barbara Gordon, etc., etc. If I go back in time, I definitely still would have bought this action figure. I cannot get enough of civilian-type action figures. Plus, she's only $14. I mean, for that, I think she's a pretty fair value. So this is D. Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this review. If you like the review, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews of me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D. Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.